Hello student, welcome to standard 9th history. We are studying chapter 4 economic development part 7. In the previous lecture we have studied the 5 years plan, first 5 years plan till the 9th 5 years plan we have studied. Now we are going to study the nationalization of bank. So during the tenure of Prime Minister Pandit Nehru and Lal Bahadur Shastri, banking was a monopoly of the private sector. So only private industrialists could hold the bank, and all the profit which was made by the bank was distributed among these industrialists, or they used to also put this money in their industries. So in this way they were benefiting. These banks represented different industrial groups. The directors of these banks were working towards developing industrial sector and increasing its profit. So their own industrialists, they were becoming rich, and they were only profit oriented. In order to stop this, the government nationalized the Imperial Bank in 1955, and it got converted into State Bank of India. So earlier State Bank of India was a private bank and it was considered as Imperial Bank. 1955 onwards it got converted into State Bank of India. So this bank was first nationalized by the government. This bank opened several branches all over the country in a short while and played a major role in development. So all the profit which was made by this state bank is to go to government treasury, and then government is to imply several welfare schemes for the people. So background of nationalization. India had adopted a mixed economy after independence. Nationalization of banks was essential to cover the deficit if they occurred while implementing different schemes. So deficit balance is a balance where your income is less and the expenditure is more. To cover this, whatever profit this bank made, this profit was utilized for the implementation of different welfare schemes. Also, the profit of these banks would come into government treasury. So this profit was utilized is to go to government treasury. Once these banks were nationalized, it is to go to government treasury. Along with this, the policy of developing small industries and pharmaceutical industries had to be implemented. So Lal Bahadur Shastri undertook the experiment of the Green Revolution in order to overcome food shortage and droughts. So we know that Dr. Swaminathan, M.S. Swaminathan had started in the year 1965 this Green Revolution, and it was started in Punjab and Haryana with the project of Bhakra and Nangal, and that year tremendous increase in the food grain was done in Haryana and Punjab, and therefore this project was considered to be a great profitable to our nation. During the tenure of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Congress Forum for Socialist Action, a group in the Congress party inspired by socialist ideas, made a demand for nationalization of commercial bank. So those commercial banks were there then. This group, Socialist Forum group, started demanding that these banks should be also nationalized. Even the Communist Party supported this. and therefore, my dear student, several banks were nationalized. I'll just we'll just see that Prime Minister Indira Gandhi nationalized 14 banks on 19 July 1969. These banks included Allahabad Bank, number 1, Bank of Baroda 2, Bank of India 3, Bank of Maharashtra 4, Canara Bank 5, Central Bank of India 6, Dena Bank 7, Indian Bank 8, Indian Overseas Bank 9, Punjab National Bank 10, Syndicate Bank 11, United Bank of India 12, United Commercial Bank UCO Bank, that is 13, United Bank of India 14. In the year 1980, 6 more banks were also nationalized. So in all, 20 banks were nationalized during this time. So this was an important thing to do. Now let us study 20-point program. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi announced the 20-point program on 1st July 1975 and resolved to make efforts towards rapidly becoming a developed nation. So the very title of our lesson is the economic development. So we Indians wanted to develop India. The main provision of the 20-point programs are as follows. Number 1, land ceiling for cities and agriculture land, equal division for wealth, minimum wages for workers, increase in water conservation schemes. So now what is land ceiling? Okay, so land ceiling is the process of fixing the maximum limit of land holding, that is individual can own. So individual cannot own beyond the particular limit. So this land ceiling act was done, okay, during that implemented. Number 2, workers participation in industries, national training schemes, freeing bonded labor. So earlier bonded labors were there, bonds were written, and then these they were paid money and bonds were written, and then the unless and until they repay this money back, they have to keep on working with the landlords. So these bonded laborers were freed during this time. Number 3, prevention of tax evasion and economic crime and smuggling. Now evasion means the crime, the taxes, crime of tax payment. So some people, they don't want to pay the taxes, and therefore they try to see loopholes, but it is a crime. And smuggling, so these were also stopped during that time. Then number 4, regulation of prices of basic necessities, improvement in the public distribution system. Basic necessities prices should not go very high, should be in limit, yeah, and therefore this was tried a lot, as well as public distribution system, that is considered as fair price shop or the rationing shops, were also implemented all over the nation, and through that the poor people were supplied the the food grains. Number 5, improvement in the textile industries by developing handloom sector, weaving loom for weaker sections, housing, communication facilities, making educational equipment available to schools. All such things were given priority during the 20-point program. So in this way, country wanted to develop further, and hence these 20-point programs were implemented at that time. So my dear student, we will take a break here. In the next lecture we are going to study issues of worker. So till then, good day and have a nice time.